Hey everybody, if you're a restaurant or hotel business, you know how crucial it is to manage costs without sacrificing quality. That's where FoodBuy, the largest GPO in the industry, comes in. With FoodBuy, you gain access to exclusive pricing, unmatched buying power, and a vast network of trusted suppliers, all designed to help you save time and money. Whether you're running a high-end hotel or a bustling restaurant, FoodBuy is your one-stop partner to streamline purchasing and get the best deals. Want to see how they're changing the game? Visit foodbuy.com today and take your supply chain to the next level. That's foodbuy.com, making smarter purchasing easier than ever.
Live from Toast Studios in Dallas, Texas, it's the Hospitality Hangout Podcast. Toast, built for restaurants, built for you.
Love that, Shatsy. Love that. I'm going to welcome you more formally to the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Hospitality share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. Got to throw it back to my boy Shatsy, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
And thanks for that kind intro, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. And together, we're the personalities behind Branded Hospitality Ventures. We work at the intersection of hospitality, technology, innovation, capital, quick-serve restaurants, and everything IoT. Jimbo, we specialize in IoT.
Oh, special.
I mean, do you know what IoT stands for?
I think I do.
What is it?
Internet of Things.
Great, thank you. We are the intersection of Internet of Things. That's IoT. Thank you, Jimmy, for clarifying that.
Absolutely.
Jimbo, I got to tell you, we got a phenomenal guest here with us
we do.
here live at FS
Good friend
Tech.
of Brandon.
Live at FS Tech in Dallas, Texas, the gorgeous Gaylord Resort and
Convention Center.
And Jimbo, I got to tell you, we are so excited to have Drew Holst, okay, VP of Sales from Powerhouse Dynamics. This is a Middleby company, which are very, very dear friends at Middleby.
Yeah.
This is one of their fastest growing acquisitions. They bought this company, I don't know when, but Drew will tell us. And I got to tell you, and they are growing gangbusters. And Drew's going to tell us why, because it's anybody who owns a restaurant or hotel that is not engaging with Powerhouse Dynamics, Jimmy, they're stupid. That's what they're stupid people. I said it, okay? You heard it.
Wow, a little aggressive. How about if you're not working with Powerhouse Dynamics, we'd like to introduce you to our friend and partner, Drew. How about start with that?
Yeah, that's better, Jimmy.
Yeah, a little better.
Your delivery was so much better. That's why I leave it to you. That's
All right.
why we'll edit that in. Hey, listen, before we jump into it, I know Drew's been on the podcast before, but you know what? For those new folks over there who don't know Drew and are trying to say, well, how do I become the VP of sales of Powerhouse Dynamics, this incredible division of Middleby. Middleby is the largest manufacturer of equipment in the world for hotels and restaurants.
Standard.
The gold standard. They have like 100 brands. They're it. How does one get there? Jimmy, how do you do it?
I think you're going to tell us.
I'm going to tell you exactly.
Thank you.
Well, what you do, Jimbo, the first thing you got to do is you got to grow up in Rhode Island, okay? You need to grow up in Rhode Island. If you're not from Rhode Island, you got no chance, okay? So anyone who's not from Rhode Island, do not apply because you can't become the VP of sales, okay? So now you're from Rhode Island, and you go to University of Rhode Island, Jimbo, right? Mm-hmm. All right, after you go to University of Rhode Island, Jim, you know what you do?
What do you do?
You become a varsity lacrosse player somewhere either before you went to Rhode Island.
Probably at, I think the way these things were ordered, I think it was probably at the University of Rhode Island.
It's something like that. Or like when he was young, he started, so you got to play lacrosse. So you're playing lacrosse, you go to Rhode Island, university, okay? And then you start working for Grainger. Remember Grainger, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
Okay. You start working for Grainger, and then you're like, you know what? Do I like this stuff? Do I like this equipment? It's all these things. I don't know if I want to deal with these people. I'm going to Staples. Because at Staples, it's like it's easier. It's like it's pens, it's pads, it's paper. Everyone likes that, right? Easy, right? But he was tired of it. He's tired of it. You know what? I remember how much I loved the food service business, right?
They all come back.
I remember how much I love diversified food service supply.
I see what you did there, Shatsy.
Spends a few years there, goes to Zenput, recognizes how much he hates that company.
Easy there, tough guy.
He didn't like anybody. He just had a bad experience.
Whoa.
It was online. It was weird. It was Zoom. He didn't like it. You know what he does? He goes to Powerhouse Dynamics. And you know why? Because they're up at Boston. He's from Rhode Island. It's close by. He starts working there. And I got to tell you, he loves it. He loves it. So let's introduce right now.
Here he is.
Mr. Drew Holst, Vice President of Sales, Powerhouse Dynamics. Drew, welcome to the show. How much did we get right? What did we get wrong? Tell us.
Thank you so much. First off, yeah, I am from Rhode Island, live here in Dallas now. You got a lot of it right. There were some parts that were wrong. Zenput, I love my friends at Zenput.
Yes.
I was just talking to them earlier today.
My notes
We're all
say
very
you
positive.
do not like anyone at Zenput.
Hey, we got to check that note.
Why are you getting Drew in trouble here?
That's right.
Drew loves Zenput, and he still uses Zenput.
Yes.
Still good friends with those guys.
Yes.
But yeah, been at Powerhouse now for 3 years and having a ball. It's wild.
It is I think what you guys are doing is amazing. And I want to jump in a little bit here.
Loves Zenput, Jimmy. He loves.
Yes.
He loves all. He put the Z in Zenput.
Listen, you and I have discussed at length, okay, the restaurant industry has been rapidly embracing technology. We're going through a digital transformation, okay? At a recent NRA report, the National Restaurant Association, by the way, the OG of the NRA,
right.
The report found that 63% of adults prefer to use restaurant technology like digital menus, mobile ordering, and contactless payments. Additionally, get ready for this factoid, this number, 95% of restaurateurs agree that technology improves their business efficiency. We're talking 95%. I want to talk to the 5 that held out, but 95% agree that technology improves efficiencies. Now, we have the FOH, the front of house, okay? That's the consumer-facing tech, okay? That gets a lot of center stage. But the BOH, the back of house tech, has been silently around for years. I think this is where Powerhouse is excelling. Okay, Chats and I like to joke that the biggest innovation or biggest piece of tech was the freaking dishwasher, okay? And by the way, dishwasher is very important. But with this restaurant,
gotta have a dishwasher.
With this restaurant technology revolution in mind, Drew, from your perspective, the Powerhouse Dynamics perspective, what are some of the biggest challenges restaurants face when it comes to energy management and operational efficiency? Because I think this is where Powerhouse really is a freaking powerhouse. That's what I think it is.
No pun intended, right, Jimmy?
It was obvious.
I love it.
Absolutely
I love
intended.
it.
I love that. I think we got to steal it. So I'll
Yours.
tell you, look, I mean, when you are talking about a lot of the technology you think about today, so much of it is front of the house. So you're spending all of this time, all of this money focused in on your menu, on LTOs, on getting guests into the restaurant, getting them to place those orders.
Loyalty, guest engagement, emailing, texting.
All of it, right? So,
Yes.
so now you've got them there, but you've got to execute. And at the end of the day, if you're not executing, it was all for naught. You spent a lot of money for no good reason. So that's where it becomes really, really critical to be hyper-focused on your equipment. Make sure that equipment is up and running. Make sure it's running to its peak because energy is super expensive right now. It's only getting more and more expensive every single year.
Yeah.
You know, in some markets we're seeing.
But it's also, Drew, sorry to interrupt, it's also the lifespan of the equipment itself.
Absolutely.
Right?
Being
Because
able
if you
to
keep it at the optimum, power going through it, you're going to keep it going longer.
Yeah, 100%. So you've got to be able to make sure that you're maintaining that piece of equipment, you're getting as much as you can out of that equipment, and then you're totally right there, Shatsy, being able to understand
Wait,
how
what'd
do
you
I
say?
make that.
Wait, say that again.
I said you are totally right.
Hey, Jimmy, you hear that? Who was right on this one?
This is gonna
That's
like-
right. This guy dropping knowledge. Thank you for recognizing how right I was.
He's going to take a clip. He's going to get the link. He's going to get the clip of
that
that
is going
statement.
on LinkedIn.
It's going to go on LinkedIn. It's going to be part of your e-signature. You're going to
Drew
make
Holst,
that. You're going to make that part of your
VP
e-signature.
of Powerhouse.
Always right.
Shatsy is always right.
Now, on that
Tell
point,
that to Jillian, too. Will
on
you tell
that
my wife
point-
that?
On that point, he said you were right. That point.
No, okay.
But you nailed it. You did nail that
Nailed it.
point.
Thank you.
Shatsy, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Oh, say it more. Say it. I can't take it enough. I love it. Thank you, Drew. That's it? We're not saying that's it?
Oh, I didn't know if you needed more than that. I figured me telling you you're exactly right is enough. But yeah, no, to your point.
It was for him.
I'm just in heaven right now.
No, to your point, though, being able to make sure that piece of equipment remains up and running. I mean, think about restaurants, right? And you're thinking about, you mentioned dishwashers. How important is a functioning dishwasher to a restaurant? It's absolutely critical. And when is it going to go down? Friday at 5 or 6 o'clock, right? It's never Tuesday at 10 a.m.
No.
So being able to have visibility into how's that piece of equipment working? How do I get that thing fixed early on in the process can save me so much money, but also so much headache.
I absolutely love it. Something. I mean, look, I tried to set up a smart home system. Because now you could do that, right? There's in the house. I was at the CES show, and they now your refrigerator and your oven, your this, your ring, your this, everything in your house can be set up like IoT, right? It can all be right. And I got to tell you, I mean, I messed the whole thing up, okay? It's like the toaster started controlling the refrigerator. The microwave, I would turn the refrigerator, the microwave went on. Somebody rang the doorbell, the blender started doing things. I mean, I screwed the whole thing up, you know what I mean? So, like, at Powerhouse Dynamics, I mean, first of all, you make it really easy, right? But tell us, give me an example of where Powerhouse Dynamics and IoT solutions literally save the day, not just utility, but save the day for large restaurant operation. Example of people are like, you know what? Thank God we had Powerhouse Dynamics because you saved the day because.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, I think here's a great example. The last couple of years, it's been super hot across the country, right? Hot. So one of our biggest customers, they've got 1,100 corporate restaurants with us. They've got a really small facilities team, 5-6 guys. They're constantly looking at dashboards. I don't know if we can, but I'm just going to go for it. Okay. Arby's is who I'm talking about.
Jimmy knows Arby's.
All right.
We got the meats, right?
The meats?
Yeah. Okay, so Arby's, that's a big, they got to make sure shit's running.
Absolutely, they do. Absolutely, right? So you've got 90 plus degrees over 90% of the country. So you can imagine their facilities team is getting bombarded with calls about, hey, it's really hot in my restaurant. It's really hot. I need you to roll a truck out here. I need you to get somebody out here.
Right.
Old world, they would have had to send out a truck. A truck right now to go out there and take a look at things like HVAC equipment is going to cost you about $1,000. In the cheap areas,
and they find that the thermostat wasn't on. That's all they find.
And that's exactly the problem, right? Or they find out, oh my gosh, it's really hot here and it's really humid. There's nothing I can do.
Right.
But by being able to leverage the technology, being able to look across the portfolio and being able to pull up that individual restaurant, understand exactly, hey, my rooftop units, how are these operating? How are they working right now? You know what? It's hot, but everything's working really well. I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. But what we also can do is save that $500 to $1,000.
Right, so wait a minute. I got to take a step back. So you're telling me that Arby's, they have over 1,000, 1,500 stores, whatever you said, right?
Yeah.
You're telling me that their ops team, their maintenance crews, or whatever you call it, that team you mentioned,
their facilities
team.
Their
Facilities people, have a dashboard that can monitor everything going on in all of their restaurants?
Absolutely, they can. What's really cool, too, is you can take that facilities person who might have a couple hundred restaurants, and they can narrow it down. So I'm only looking at the ones that are most important to me. And then I can also filter that out and just say, hey, I just need to see the ones that are having issues. Because the restaurants, it's like kids. The restaurants that are working great, I don't need to think about them right now. I got to focus on the ones that are about to start a fire, just like kids. So which are the ones I got to pay attention to?
That to me is the most unbelievable thing. That's what I said, Jimmy. You laughed, but I said, or maybe you didn't laugh. You said I shouldn't have said it that way. But still, I felt you were laughing inside. You said, to me, it's a no-brainer. How do you not have a system like this? If you have 500, 1,000, 200 restaurants, right? You want everybody that you want from one central location. I can monitor everything.
Look, we know our friends in this industry. We know our brothers and sisters. We're slow to adopt, and we want if we have a piece of equipment, we're going to run it and use it until the thing literally falls apart. But the reason why you're seeing the growth at Powerhouse Dynamics is a lot of companies, clearly Arby's, is recognizing the importance of embracing best-in-class tech, connected kitchens, connected technology, and having these dashboards that allow them to essentially, they can tremendous leverage for their facilities team thanks to the work that Powerhouse is doing. That's pretty awesome.
I think also, just to break it all the way down, the individual operator, it's just as valuable.
You're telling me there's more?
There's even more.
But there's more.
But
wait,
there's more.
What can you do?
So all the way down to that individual operator, right? So I've got one restaurant, and boy, my fryer is absolutely critical because, man, we sell a lot of fish and chips on Friday nights. I've got to know that fryer is working going into Friday to make sure that everything is going to be, running appropriately. Everything's going to be up and doing what it needs to do. And my oven and my dishwasher and my HVAC equipment and everything else that comes with it. So by being able to leverage that, I could say it's just as important to someone who has one restaurant to another brand that's got 1,500.
Without a doubt.
So listen, Drew, I want a little bit of a predicting the future here. What's one bold prediction you can make of how technology will revolutionize restaurant operations, over the next 5 years? What's on your mind? What are you guys seeing?
Well, I'll tell you. All right, so let me give you a statistic here because I know, Jimmy, you are a numbers guy.
Yes.
So coming out of COVID, there were the technicians that would get out there and they'd work on these pieces of equipment. They were leaving the industry. 2 folks were leaving the industry for every one that was coming in. Now it's 4 are leaving the industry for every 1 that's coming in. So there are fewer and fewer technicians out there. So my bold prediction is that we are going to see a massive adoption of connected equipment technology, mostly through Powerhouse Dynamics and our open kitchen platform. But I think you're going to see it across the board. It's going to gain that much more penetration just because of the pure necessity that comes out of it. And that's where I think we're going to head. Now, being part of Powerhouse and being part of the Middleby family and all the brands that we integrate with both inside and outside of Middleby, I do have to point that out. Probably half the equipment we integrate with today is outside of Middleby. And I think we're fantastic in position.
Whatever equipment you
We
have,
really
doesn't
are.
have to be the Middleby stuff.
You mentioned we're headquartered off in Boston. They leave us alone. We do our thing up there. We work closely with our Middleby brothers and sisters, but we also work with other manufacturers. And the reality is, that's all driven by our customer base. Our customers are the ones that are coming to us and saying, "Hey, I've got this piece of equipment."
Are you a Patriots fan and a Red Sox fan? Is that and a Bruins? Like, are you all in on that?
So I'm a Bruins fan, a
you live
Celtics
in
fan,
Dallas,
and a Red Sox fan. The Patriots were terrible when I was growing up, and I never could jump back on.
So what are you? Are you on the Cowboy bandwagon?
My kids were born literally across the street from the Dallas Cowboys facility. We're at the facility every single day. I kind of love to hate the Cowboys living here because I don't know if you saw yesterday's game, but it qualifies as most games for the Cowboys right now. It's going to be a rough season. I have a feeling.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, being a Cowboys fan is still pretty cool because, like, I'm a Jet fan, and that's brutal. You know what I mean? I feel like the Cowboys always seem to have a decent. You know, they put something out there
They're expected to win.
Yeah.
They put up 12-plus win seasons, and then if they lose in the playoffs, people are down on the season. But consistently putting up big wins, big numbers every year.
That's
But
true.
they're not. But for the Dallas Cowboys, they got to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
do
you're
have
right
to win
about
the Super
that.
Bowl.
Well, yeah, the Jets just have to win like a couple games.
I have to tell you, my kids go to daycare with a bunch of the Cowboys players' kids.
Really?
So it's actually really cool. It's kind of like almost like a collegiate feel where it's, hey, it's this kid's dad and this kid's dad. And my little guys are 2 and 4. They're not really even all interested in the fact that there's a couple Cowboys walking around, which is pretty funny. It's actually pretty funny.
I love
Birthday parties are really fun.
Let's jump into a little. I think we're going to jump right into a little bit of before we move on, Jimbo.
Yes.
I got something really cool to do.
Go for it.
Okay, what we're going to do is let's play a little game called Energy Time Machine with Powerhouse Dynamics. Energy Time Machine. Drew, if you could bring one modern energy management technology back to a restaurant from the 1980s, what would it be? How do you think it would blow their minds away? Would have blown their minds away? If you could take something, go back in time. What would you bring back, blow minds away?
Oh man, so we're going back into the 80s and we're living in a restaurant. What could we modernize and just completely change the
bringing it to
game?
make it like you're like
That's just like in a
holy-
Back to Future kind of
holy
mood
Jesus,
right now.
I can't believe.
Yeah, a little Back to the Future here. You know what? I think something along the lines of, I was going to say like ordering through your phone, but I guess we couldn't because the limitations were there. Because that would.
But that could be a thing.
You think just showing up with your? Maybe that's my answer. Actually, I'm going to commit. I'm going to commit. That is my answer. Being able to walk in there with my phone and being able to tell them, "Hey, I know the pizza's going to be here in 5 minutes," and just completely blow their minds.
Yeah.
When it shows up.
I know my pizza's just about to be ready. I'm showing up because I know.
I can see
the future.
I can see it happening. I think that's.
you want mobile ordering.
I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I would take mobile ordering anytime. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I was born in '67. If I could mobile order in the '70s, it would have been awesome.
It would have
right,
been pretty
Jimbo?
cool.
That'd be pretty freaking cool.
You know, I had to call 2 gondoliers in Livingston, New Jersey to order my pizza. You know, I could have just went on the I mean, today, try to get my kids to even get on a phone, do anything, to call a deli, forget about it. Never.
Totally different.
Your kids have to make a phone call. They're choosing another restaurant.
Absolutely.
So listen, Drew, let's go into talking back. Clearly, Shatz and I like to gab a little bit and ask questions, but we learned along the way. Sometimes our guest has a question or two for us. So we like to say nothing's off the table. Drew, my friend, the microphone is yours.
So, Jimmy, last year at FS Tech, you said 2024 is going to be the year of IoT. This is all moving forward. I'm curious, and I think you're right. I think we're starting to see it more and more from so many, especially these large brands, when they're outsourcing new equipment, a requirement is it needs to be connectable and it needs to be connected to a network like Open Kitchen. So I'm curious, what do you think is the big push for 2025 and beyond?
I love the question, and I'm going to double down and say we're getting to get more momentum in the spend on back of house. I'm not a golfer. Shatsy could attest to that.
I've seen it. It's horrible.
And there's a saying in golf that you drive for show and you putt for dough. The back of house, the kitchen, that's the putting green. That's where
I would
the money.
say, Jimbo, on the 19th hole, you crush it.
I do crush the 19th hole.
Nobody does
but the
19th
green
hole.
is where
Nobody
the money
does
is made and lost in golf, and that is where the kitchen is where money is made and lost. And I think what I like that you said earlier, people talk about labor saving, and one of the biggest challenges for the industry is, the increase in cost of labor and really how to deploy labor better and more efficiently. And we're seeing that in front of house with kiosk and digital ordering mechanisms. But I think what you're describing, and you talked about it earlier, the value of having a connected kitchen, the value of having the Powerhouse dynamic and leveraging that tech, that IoT, that is a labor saver. That is an efficiency creator. So I'll double down and say it's not easy for these big restaurants to lean into the CapEx, the spend that is required to modernize a kitchen. But I think more and more people are realizing the value add, the efficiency that comes with the savings, the energy savings, the labor savings, the extending the life and having the machinery just operates better. So I think we're going to see more momentum. We're in the early innings of the adoption of the connected kitchen, the open kitchen by Powerhouse Dynamics. And I think 25 is going to be a year where it's even bigger. So I'm doubling down on 25. Powerhouse Dynamics, get ready for a big year, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. I love that
Jimmy,
answer.
you're on
I
your
love
feet.
that answer.
Look, there you go.
Thank you.
Hold on.
I wrote most of that
Microphone.
answer for Jimmy. That was my idea. Jimmy did not.
Yes.
I wrote most of that for Jimmy.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
Actually, my earrings.
Jimmy
my
Frischling
earrings are
says
Bluetooth
power-
enabled. Shatsy was just whispering into my ears. All that. That's all
I love it.
That's
Powerhouse Dynamic will have the best year it's ever
Big.
had in 2025. That is Jimmy's prediction.
That's my prediction.
Drew Holst will become president of Powerhouse Dynamics. That's what he said. That's
Now you're picking
Original.
fights. Now you're picking
That's what he said.
internal strife between Drew and his boss.
I like
No,
it. I
no,
like
that's
it.
what-
Listen.
Jimmy, that's what you said. That's what I heard. Look, that's what I heard. Listen, that's what I heard, and I couldn't be more excited. All right, listen. We got a quick game of hot or not. Are you ready, Drew Holst?
I'm ready.
Vice President, soon to be president of Powerhouse Dynamics. Let's play a quick game of hot or not. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question or say a line. You tell me hot or not. Augmented reality menus.
Not.
Voice-activated kitchen assistants.
Hot.
In-table grills, hot pots.
Hot.
Robotic servers.
Not.
Jimbo?
There's a lot to work with there. I want to lean in on the hots. And I think I want to lean in on the table grills and the hot
I didn't know what
pots.
that is.
I think I know where this is going, and I'm really curious. But you jumped on that as a hot. You also like the voice activated kitchen assistants. We could talk more, but really for since I'm allowed to pick one.
Okay.
Talk a little bit
two
about
if you really want
talk
to.
about the table grills and the hot pots. I think I know where this is going, but I'd like you to state it for our audience.
Well, here's why I think it's hot. All right, so I think right now, to your point earlier, Jimmy, you've got to execute, but guest experience has to be there. Absolutely. There's so much competition out there in the restaurant industry. I think that watching your food or being able to cook your food is cool. I think it's just fun. People enjoy it. One of the things that I'm seeing a ton of, my wife and I were just talking about it yesterday, we can't wait to do this with our friends, is doing home hibachi. Like, there's just something really cool about watching your own, somebody cook food or you cook your own food. Now, what's crazy is you could just cook it at your house and probably save yourself a ton of money. But it's fun to go and it's fun to do it, right there at the table.
All right, that right there,
Korean
you kill the
barbecue.
restaurant business with that.
Yeah, we can't have it.
Yeah, but I
Hey,
but no,
let's
the
stay
experience.
at home, take Ozempic, and cook hibachi.
I mean,
honestly, Drew, you're killing the industry.
I jumped on that, Shatz. I have a 7-year-old daughter, and she thinks when we go to a restaurant that lets her either because it's a hot rock, a hot stone that you can, cook the steak on, or it's these grills in the table, and she gets to cook her own meal. First of all, the nonstop joke about we're going out to eat, and we're paying to do our own cooking. But the fact is, it's an experience. And for our daughter,
Jimmy,
it is magical. And the food's great.
Benihana.
Yes, but I'm saying it's hot again. I'm with you. Yes, I loved it. I knew he was going to talk about
It's
the experience.
experiential, man.
Experiential. The guest wants that experience, and I think that's a really important area, and it's differentiated. I love it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Coke's killing it.
Oh, I think you said Coke is killing it. I'm like trying to figure out how you got there. Coke, the Japanese steakhouse. I was like, you lost me on Coke.
Yeah.
But okay, Coke, yes.
Listen, I'm going to jump into a little quick fire, Jimbo.
All
That's
right.
okay with you.
Jump in.
All right. Drew Holst, are you ready for a little red, the quick fire?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Favorite Texas barbecue style? Is it East Texas? That's tomato-based, but you know that. Is it Central Texas? That's dry rub, but you know that. Is it Southern Texas? That's thick and sweet, but you know that. Is it West Texas? That's mesquite. Which one? But you know all this because you're from Texas.
Well, I live here.
I know Rhode Island, but now
Yes,
it's Texas.
yes.
So,
It's Texas.
All right, so it's Central Texas. It's all about the rub. It's all about the rub.
Yes.
And while you're here, it's all about going. You got to go to Hutchins Barbecue while you're here.
Hutchins Barbecue. Make a note of
Hutchins
that,
is the
Jimbo.
best.
This
Make a note.
segment of the podcast is sponsored by Hutchins, the dry rub.
Right? All right, listen, I got to get back to my thing, but I got to find a little more music. All right. Best Texas invention. Was it the frozen margarita machine? Chili, the dish? Dr. Pepper? Or was it Whole Foods Market? What's the best thing came out of Texas?
Listen, I am a huge tequila fan and a huge margarita fan, so I am going with the frozen margarita machine, hands down.
Nice.
Hands down.
You guys Middleby must own a frozen margarita machine company, right?
Our sister brand Taylor, they've got some of the best in the
I
market.
think Taylor knows a
Absolutely.
little something about margarita machines.
That's when you
Absolutely.
join Middleby, literally you get a T-shirt, a hat, and you get a frozen margarita machine.
They
Is
bring
that
it
what
right
they
to your
give you?
house. They bring it right to your
By the
house.
way,
It's
quick question.
phenomenal.
In Texas, chili has no beans, right?
I believe that is no beans.
Yes,
That's correct.
because
That's
I
right.
believe in Texas, no beans in the chili.
No beans.
Beans are very healthy, Jimmy. Everyone knows that. You want beans.
That's not what you're about. You're
right.
not looking for healthy with chili.
Yes.
I love chili. Which Texas-based TV chef would you most want to cook with? Okay, who do you want to cook with? Is it Dean Fearing, Tim Love, Tiffany Derry, or Aaron Franklin?
Oh, Aaron Franklin, hands down.
That's
Aaron
Franklin Barbecue?
Absolutely, Franklin
Oh my
Barbecue.
God, I tried to get barbecue from there. I think it's in Austin, but it was like 2 hours. The lady
Yeah.
comes up, she's like, it's 2 hours from here. I'm like, 2 hours from here, but an hour. I'm like, I got to go find somewhere else.
Yeah, good luck. It is tough to get, but if you can get your hands on it, it's phenomenal.
True or false? The Texas State Fair is home to the largest Ferris wheel in North America. The largest Ferris wheel in North America is at the Texas State Fair.
I have to say true, because Texas would never allow someone to have anything bigger.
Jimbo, would you care to weigh in?
I feel this question is it's like a little tricky, just a little tricky, because by the way, everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything is bigger.
Except their Ferris wheel. Number 2. It's the second biggest. It's
Jimbo,
not the
you are
biggest.
correct. It
Yes.
is the second
Second
largest.
largest.
I don't know where the largest is. I have to ask our producer, Julie, but it is the second largest. Jimmy, do you care? Who's the first? Do you care to guess?
I'm gonna guess, but I don't know if this counts as a Ferris wheel. But I'm gonna guess the eye, the Vegas
Oh,
eye.
Vegas?
That's what I'm guessing. But then someone might say that's not a Ferris wheel. I think it's a Ferris wheel. But I think
Maybe
that's
like
the largest.
Six Flags, maybe. Who has the biggest Ferris wheel? Oh, Julie's gonna text us right now.
Ding, ding, ding.
Jimbo, because Vegas does have nice.
I don't think that counts.
It's
I don't think
Vegas.
that
But
counts.
I
That
thought,
doesn't
yes,
count?
I thought Drew might challenge that as more of an experiential ride as opposed to a Ferris wheel. But I thought it was a Ferris wheel, and apparently, I'm correct.
I think when the folks at the Texas State Fair listen to this and learn that there is a bigger Ferris wheel,
They're gonna
next
build a
year
bigger one.
we will have the biggest
There you
Ferris
go.
wheel.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
is
All
my
right, the
prediction.
last-
My bold 2025 prediction.
Going to the last question. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
If you were to challenge Jimmy or me to a Texas-style chili cook-off, but with a twist, you have to incorporate a secret ingredient chosen by the other contestant. Who do you have better odds of beating?
I think this is an easy one.
Who do I have better odds of beating?
Who are you gonna beat? You have a better chance of
Yeah,
beating
who are you going to beat
chili.
in a Texas-style
I think I'm
chili
going to
cook-off?
beat Jimmy because Shatsy is passionate about his chili.
Yeah,
He didn't
Jimmy.
even know that beans weren't part of the Texas chili. I feel insulted.
But
on
that would be my secret ingredient. That's what I would bring to the table. That's one.
I'm a good sport. I accept the decision. I'd like to have that challenge. I want to do that Texas. I want to do that Texas
Let's
chili.
do it. That could be
cook-off.
fun. That
Yes,
could be fun.
All right. I
You know where
respect
we
it.
could do it at the Middleby Innovation Kitchen?
Yes.
Conveniently located.
I've been talking to James about coming down there.
At
Let's
the
do
Mick.
it.
We
At the
call it the
Mick.
Mick. How
He's too
cool is
busy.
that?
This Taylor,
It's the Mick.
this
Middle
Taylor,
Innovation Kitchen, the Mick.
Hey, he's too busy. This Taylor frozen food show or something like that.
20
By the way,
minutes
you
from
know that,
DFW,
you know the
20
Taylor
minutes
Frozen
from
Food
Liverpool.
Show is actually engaging with Taylor Swift. Did you hear that?
So the Taylor,
Of course
so the
you
Taylor
heard it.
frozen
I
margarita
just said
machine
it. I
is
just said
Taylor
it. So
Swift.
you heard it. It's not true because I don't think it's true, but you heard it because I said it.
So Jimmy, the Taylor frozen margarita machine is really Taylor Swift.
That's her
frozen
side
margarita.
hustle.
That's
in
probably-
case the music, in case her singer-songwriter career doesn't work out for her, she's also mastered the art of the margarita machine.
I like
She
it.
can
I
do
got to
everything.
tell you.
Just got to back up.
Drew Holst, this is absolutely fantastic. Vice President, Powerhouse Dynamics, any restaurant operator that's looking for an easy way to reduce their operational costs, bring efficiencies, equipment to last longer, just give him a shout. How do we get you? It's at PowerhouseDynamics.com?
PowerhouseDynamics.com. You'll find us right on there. You can
PowerhouseDynamics.com. And I got to tell you, any operator, you got 1 store, 1,000 stores right now. The phones are ringing up right now. They're already ringing up. Drew, you got to get out of here because already people are selling. Jimbo, let's bring it home.
Drew, thank you so much for everything you're doing for the industry we love and also your continued support of Innovation Alley. We couldn't do this without our corporate partners, and Powerhouse and the Middleby Corporation have been with us just always and since the very beginning, and we appreciate your continued support to make this happen. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Oh, mic drop.